Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on our Family First Life Tri-State Training Day podcast. We have a special day today with my man Marc Tirolia and Bernard Borges down from the 305.
305.
Miami in the building, but to be fair, Bernard from New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
In the building. Back from New Jersey.
Back.
Moved to Florida. Back home.
Back home.
Has his whole coming at our office. We're happy to have y'all, man. How y'all doing today, man?
Doing amazing, man.
Outstanding, man. Thanks for having us. Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming. You guys, represent. You know what? It's so funny. You know, you guys remind me of Bad Boys.
Yeah, somebody told us that.
Mike Larry and
yeah.
What's Martin Lawrence's name in that movie?
I can't remember now.
I didn't know Mike Larry. That's all I remember.
That's all everyone ever
Everybody
remembers.
knows that.
Yeah.
But appreciate y'all coming in. I'm excited to have y'all. Y'all are growing actively in your agency, day in and day out, making things happen. You guys made a ton of adjustments in the last 3 months. You know, I've watched a lot of it on social. I've watched the way you guys move. Bernard, when you came in, it kind of gave an uptick to the chosen ones because of your energy and your focus and your leadership. So I'd love it if you two can talk a little bit about some of the things you're doing, how it's growing, and some of the things that you're doing to continue to get this thing to pop.
If you want me to start, I would say, Marc has sharpened my iron. He's forced me to be great. That's in a nutshell, that's what happened. Part of the hiring process was, Bernard, you're not being utilized. You're being underutilized at your practice company. Allow me to bring you here so that you can be introduced to the industry as Bernard Borges. And that was powerful. And so he's forcing me to be the best I can be. And in return, I'm saying, hey, you're not going to sharpen me and I not bring what I bring for your whole team, not for Bernard's team, for the chosen ones. And I do feel like I've been chosen to do this. So I think the biggest thing is that we're just bouncing off of each other. We talk every day, obviously, all day, every day, and we're just bouncing ideas off of each other, and we're forcing each other to be the best version of ourselves. That would be what I say.
Well, I like to say this. You're already great, but I just want everyone else to see that.
Man, thank you.
You know, because you do a lot. And one of the adjustments we made was focus more in-house, local, with our local team. We started having more meetings, more trainings.
Yes.
We do a monthly meeting now.
First Friday,
where we have all the local agents coming by, and you do a training. The professor does a training every Monday at 1 o'clock after the bullpen.
2 o'clock after the bullpen.
2 o'clock
after the bullpen. Right
so I
after
think that has been working a lot for building that camaraderie at home.
And then Marc also has, again, the sharpening of the iron got me to really take social media serious. I pay for it now. I never thought I did. I pay for social media now, Marc. Right. So, again, credit to Marc for that.
Well, kudos. I think, for every agency that I've seen be successful, it's about how many leaders you can create and work with, right? It's a game of leadership.
Yes, it is.
It's a game of leadership. The teams who have the most leaders move the fastest. Yes. And leadership is taken, So when we think about leadership, we think about, who's my running mate? Who can I run with? Now, Marc, you have a great business, and you're sprinkled all over the country. When you think about your backyard, right, and where you are, and having someone now come into the office and have that same energy, it's a different ball game completely. One could put 1,000 a flight, two could put 10,000 a flight. So now all of a sudden, the accountability, right? It's iron sharpening iron. You said it. He sharpened your axe. I mean, but that's what, if you want to grow this thing and you're passionate about people, I'm looking for them every day.
That's right.
Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking for those people every single day because we know the difference that it can make instantly.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the structure you created in the office, the trainings, how it's empowering people, and how it's, because anything, I always used to say, if you can get the heat going in your hometown, it could ignite the rest of your country. Whatever your country is. You can have, so if you're in 10 states, it could ignite those 10 states.
Okay.
If you're in 30 states, it can ignite those 30 states. But, what you're doing now is igniting the rest of the chosen one's country. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So it's all about putting people in the room with like-minded people. People been around like-minded people forever. But I think we do it a little bit differently. We want to put them in the room with like-hearted people, right? And I think bringing them in to the office and training them and showing them that we actually do care. It's not all about A, B, C, or D. We know you have a life. We know things are going on in your home, at home, whatever distractions. We welcome you to come in the office so we could show you how to become winners. I think if you get close enough to the pit, you're gonna catch fire. I think where we at, that's the fire. We on fire right now. Our local office is on fire.
Yes, it is.
And I think we just want to bring more people into it. That's our goal.
I would only add that the other part of it that I think makes us a little bit different is we're intentionally building people's businesses too. The training is not just products and services. Yes, that's part of it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But our training is next level. It's about understanding the mind of a millionaire and understanding how to take that mindset and apply it. You talk about, Mark, all the time, talk. That's not getting us anywhere. It's action. It's application. So that's what we're teaching. We're teaching application of the concepts that are going to get you to wherever you're going. So, but to Mark's point, we're also vetting out the people to make sure that we're not wasting time. Our conversation yesterday on our show, it's about not wasting time. You said it earlier. I got debt, I got this, I got that. I'm not playing. I need this now.
Right.
And so that's what we're looking for.
How do you teach that? What does that look like practically? If I'm a new agent, I'm like, I like what this guy's saying. I don't want to waste time, right? It's very conceptual. What you're saying is a mindset. But if I don't have that mindset, then it's just a concept.
Right.
So how do you train that to make it more of a mindset for people and allow more people to catch that fire?
Mark, this may not be the popular answer, but I don't. I see if it's there or not.
Right. Yeah.
If it's not there, Mark will tell me, stop, Bernard. Move on.
Yeah.
Move on. He'll tell me.
It's hard for Bernard to move on.
Yeah, I love people.
He loves people.
And I try to.
I like to put people to the test. I'm going to give you an activity to do this. I'm going to give you an activity.
That's what
do this. If you don't do this, you're not that one.
That one. At least not
you're
that
not a one. You're not a chosen one.
That's right.
If you can't do A, B, C, or D. And that's how I vet out the people that's here to play games or people who out here really want to make a business.
He helps them not waste time. He
Yeah.
does. He's very good at that. Very adept at that. I'm just pouring in, and he'll be like, all right, stop.
Beating the dead horse. Come on.
Yep, let's go to pouring this one.
Let's focus on this person right here who really, really wants. I'd rather work with one person 100% of the time than 10 people that waste
10% of the time
10%.
each, yeah. I agree.
I'm all about working with the people that wants it, who gets it, who understands it. And of course we speak in a different language. It's going to take time for people to understand the business acumen that we're talking in the office. So that's why I encourage them to keep coming. It's just like learning another language. The more you listen to it, the more you hear us, the more you stay plugged in, you're going to catch it. It's going to come on. It's going to catch on.
But I do want to answer that question more directly, and that is we do it through analogies. A lot of what I do, because you're right, it's very conceptual. So what I try to do is bring it into a sports analogy or some sort of life, easy to understand analogy. That's how we bring it. So we'll talk about this FFL being the NFL. You get drafted. You don't get hired here. You get drafted to the pros, to the big leagues. Now it's up to you as a draftee to earn your contract. Go to practice. Go work out. Eat right. All the things that are going to put you in the best position to win on the field.
Love it.
And then at that point, you got a coach. You got a GM, whatever, that are, there for you. But ultimately, it's up to you to hire a personal chef if you got discipline problems with eating. That's like hiring a recruiter.
That's good.
That's like hiring a social media person. I got discipline problems on social media. So I hired somebody to do that for me. And we got to take this business mind and concept to this insurance situation that we're in. And so that's kind of the way we're teaching.
See, that's
that
good.
Makes sense.
He's speaking their language now.
Yeah.
Yes, now they can understand.
Now they understand that.
Listen, man, Bernard, I spoke to you, I don't know, 3 months ago or so.
Yes.
We were talking about you're on board, like you getting on board and you getting rolling. And I love what you say about I'm a businessman, not an insurance. Can you break this down? Because number one, it's great, but it's a different way of thinking.
Yes.
And I want you to really, really gut it and kind of and share that.
I grew up my mother had a marketing company in the 80s. Black woman in the 80s in marketing. It was a very unique situation. I was fortunate enough to grow up into that. Literally, like grow up into it, even become I did an intern there. I worked there. So I got a lot of business concepts. Matter of fact, all my business concepts from her leading into going into business myself. Then I took on some new mentors and what have you. But the point is, every situation that you get into, you can approach from a business concept and a business mind. And don't think about in terms of whatever the market is, think about how you can impact the market and disrupt it. That's what I'm about. I'm about disruption. So this insurance industry and where I come from, final expense insurance industry, was so like jagged. It was just the same. It was just mundane. It was just everybody doing the same thing over and over. And I said, no. Let's create new concepts. So one of the things we did was I said, well, while you guys are all looking at helping a family at a time, I'm gonna put 30 in a room. I'm gonna talk to them all. This is pre-COVID. I'm gonna put them all in a room, and I'm gonna talk to them all together. And I'm gonna use the group dynamic. That when one does it, what everybody else do, they want to follow the Joneses. And I get 30 sales while you're getting one in an hour. And I leverage. I say, Marc, and so-and-so and so-and-so, come into the room with me. I'm gonna have you work with me, and you're gonna help, right? You split everything with me. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So now I'm letting them eat too. And then what's they're gonna do? They're gonna learn from this. They're gonna have their own room that I couldn't get. And then they're gonna invite me to the room. Now I'm getting 50%. And that's how I broke the record for final expense in 2013.
No doubt.
2012 he did it. So this is our path. But the point is the business concept is about thinking of it from a analytical business analysis concept, not the things that were taught or the archetypes that were taught from the industry itself, because they're not always necessarily businessmen. An insurance man is not a businessman. Insurance man just knows how to sell insurance.
Right.
A businessman knows how to build a business utilizing whatever it is, in this case insurance.
Right, correct.
Insurance just happens to be the commodity. That's all it is. It's a commodity. And it's a great commodity. In fact, other than banking, it's the most impressive commodity in the world in terms of making money. So all we're doing is just simply putting business concepts to work, which is why I fell in love with FFL, because Sean is making this a business. He's businessizing, if that's even a word, an industry that's always been kind of just follow the preset path. He just said, the heck with that, I'm blazing a whole new trail. I mean, he blazed the trail. And all I'm saying is, that's a guy that's the kindred spirit. I love that spirit. I love that thought process and this whole growth mentality. He could Ben had stopped. He's doing super well. Yeah. But that's not even entering into his psyche. And that's where I'm at, because he cares about people. And so do I. So I follow a lot of his concepts. I know that's, cliches. But before I met him, I was already thinking and acting in those ways. I just had a much smaller platform where I couldn't really expand. And grace of God, met Marc and gave us a nationwide platform now to work with.
That's strong.
Beyond nation now is Puerto Rico too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We there now.
Marc, when you look at, let's talk about business enterprising and, what your plans are and, the way it's unfolding, what are some of the things that you see when you look at the chosen ones, when you look at FFL, when you look at the industry, when you look at the integrity, opportunity, what are some things you see?
Well, I see growth. I see the integrity. I see people now they have the opportunity to grow a business, an actual business.
Right.
And I always tell people, when you hire one person, now you're actually a business owner, you're agency owner.
Yeah.
And our goal is to have more agency owners, helping more people, serve more people. And the only way we can do that is just by holding them more accountable of showing them that this is a business, this is a real business. This is not, don't treat it like you just said, don't treat it like just an insurance agent.
No.
Treat it like a business.
Yeah.
And I think we have to do a better job as an agency to showing agents that, yes, you're independent, but you do have a model to follow. If McDonald's have a franchise.
We're franchising. Yeah,
Right.
we're franchising.
Yeah,
Exactly.
McDonald's have a franchise. Why join McDonald's franchise where you got to pay upfront costs and all these other stuff? You come to our franchise, you're gonna create your own franchise. Now you can empower more people. So
Exactly. And the people that you're bringing on, unlike McDonald's, can also eat too.
No doubt.
You know, and they can be their own franchisees. So we're truly franchised. I was thinking about this today. Mark and I are the epicenter of this Chosen Ones movement. We're the epicenter. We're creating earthquakes. But what do earthquakes create? They create aftershocks. The aftershock, and the stronger the aftershock is, the bigger the persons that we're bringing in will be. So we want to create earthquakes all around. I don't care where we're going. We want to create earthquakes and create aftershocks when we leave. So even long after we're gone, the ripple effect is still, going on. That's what we're doing. And those aftershocks are the Omars and the people like that who are building now from what Mark started, what Bernard
this is truly
started.
a business, the best business opportunity.
It really is.
Truly is.
In
It's
any
not,
industry.
it's not just an insurance opportunity.
No,
this
it's
is
a business opportunity.
No doubt. But you guys see it that way. I mean,
Yeah.
you must have said business 40 times already. You know
That's
what I mean?
all it is.
I agreed. But you understand, a lot of our audience may or may not see it that way.
Okay.
Right? So I think it's extremely important to talk this way.
Yes.
Because how do you not see it this way? Like, this is what it is. It is a business opportunity if you treat it as such.
Well, that's
You know-
the key. You just said it. If you treat it as
you
such,
treat
if
it
you
as
don't, then you're not going to do the things that Mark and Sean and all the leaders are looking and built this thing for us to do, which is grow it.
Yeah.
You're going to be an employee.
Let's talk about the concept of being a business owner and always being on. Because we get some people that think, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a business owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, it's 4:45. It's
Like you always say, you got to be an adult.
Gotta be an adult. Gotta be an
Gotta be an
adult.
adult.
hey, Saturday, I'm just not going to, I don't.
A business owner is 24/7. There's no, okay, I'm gonna take care of this when I clock in or when I get to it. You do it Friday night, 9 o'clock at night. You do it Saturday night, 11 o'clock at night. You do it Sunday, 9 o'clock in the morning. If you have that vision that it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, what day of the week it is, that your business is running 24/7, you have to do something that day to make sure that your future looks bright. If you treat it as such, there's no on and off clock. I'm on the clock all the time. I don't even have a clock.
What is business? Business is people. People.
Yeah.
So when your business, your people need something, you attend
Take
to
care
it
of
on the
it.
spot.
Right.
There is no off and on, like you said. It is you're helping those people,
Right.
your business, which is your people, at the moment that they need help. You don't say, "Oh, well, wait until Monday." I mean, what? Like,
Yeah.
I don't. If they're calling you at 11 p.m.,
Yeah.
the alarms are going off in my head. I got a fire to put out. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting out whatever fire or helping whatever needs to be done, addressing whatever needs to be done in that moment. That's when they need you. If you tell them to wait till Monday, then you're not a leader.
When
You're not helping
when I
them.
first started doing this, I remember we used to be out on the weekends having dinner late, 9, 10 o'clock, and Nancy used to get frustrated when someone on the agency called me. But now, she's numb to it. Somebody could text me 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. She won't bat an eye because she understands the business. She always used that. I remember we had a conference call and she hosted it. She was like, Mark used to do this, do that. Mark does things that now I have to understand as to see him run this business. Now I understand. But when I first met Mark, I didn't understand. that this business run 24/7. You need to service the people.
She saw the growth.
Right.
She saw the growth. And
Right.
now,
Yeah.
Hey,
she's
by
like,
the way,
hey.
I was just about to say, you don't grow.
Then that's going to be a problem.
Then it's a continued problem. You don't grow. You don't show them bank account
Right,
deposits
yeah,
to
yeah.
wifey.
Right.
So that's why she good.
No, she all good
Now she
because
understands, yeah.
they started rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people struggle with that. This idea like, my spouse isn't on board because you ain't raining. You ain't making it
grown
rain.
nothing. There you
And
ain't making
now,
it rain.
you can't just make it rain. You have to make it rain and communicate. But if you communicate and don't make it rain,
Right.
she can't understand.
No.
They can't, male or female, they can't understand. If you don't make it rain and communicate, it does. You need both.
Both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can make it rain and not communicate. It's equally not good. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Just because
genius.
the money's there don't mean you don't communicate.
They're not going to be happy.
So you have to find a way to commute. We got to build a business
Right.
while communicating.
And
That's
bring
how
it
you
together.
get them on. How do I get my spouse on board? Make it rain.
Make it rain.
and communicate.
But communicate with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had to repaint the vision. As it was raining, she's like, we good now, right? No.
Not really.
Because the business is eating 80% of this. Let me help you understand.
Yes.
You know them 2 people we just hired? You know them ads we just ran? You know that
Office.
office we just that cotton machine, the coffee maker. By the way, you want to have an office with no water, with no water. You know how people go and the spigot, what's it called?
Water machine?
Water cooler.
Water cooler, yeah.
Bro,
right.
I remember we was in an office. This is 10 years ago.
Okay.
The water cooler was a hand-me-down, and we put in an old. It was like we were drinking. It was like we were catching scurvy while we was drinking water. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. Call the vendor.
Yeah.
Now, when you're a new business owner, that's scary. How much that gonna cost? It's $10 a month. It's still a bill.
Yeah.
Adds up.
And by the way, you can't have an office with no water in it. People talk for a living. So I know that's a very small example.
No,
But dude, the microwave, they need to heat their lunch. I mean, and I'm just talking from the beginning.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Because, probably the microwave we have is really outdated. That was a microwave we bought when we was trying to make it. And now people still use it because it still works.
Still works.
Still works.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, that stuff is extremely real, and it's like, as we talk about building a business, this stuff is like, it just doesn't go away. Now, new challenges arise as we go forth and things like that. But, I'm proud of what you guys are doing.
I want to make a comment on what you just said. It was genius about the communication and making it rain with the spouse thing. Let's take it a step further. That's exactly what we're doing to build these leaders. We have to communicate and make it rain for them too. Otherwise, they're not going to see. Even if we talk the good game, they got to see the money. And that's what Mark and I are doing right now.
No doubt.
We're developing new leaders to make it rain for them. One is Nalinda, who you'll be hearing from on some future.
I like her. She's
If
great.
you haven't heard already.
She's
She
amazing.
did 45 families in the first 40 days.
She's a weekend warrior.
Weekend, and that's,
I
and
think
we
she had
gave her a
21
award.
families last weekend.
What was
Weekend
it?
Before last.
It was 13?
13 families.
13 families.
Yeah.
And so we recognized, we gave her an award for it because Mark and I intentionally are building this weekend warrior mentality.
Right.
And it's working.
No doubt.
Because we're seeing a lot of
Yes.
numbers that weren't there before. And this is that uptick you're talking about.
No
So
doubt.
that communication and making it rain thing is brilliant. And that's what we're doing.
No doubt. And I love, because I was down in your office not too long ago.
Yes.
And I love it. You guys have this platform. You bring everyone in. You recognize them.
Yes.
You make them feel.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
You make them feel important. You give them good principles and training.
Yes,
Dude,
sir.
there's no way it doesn't explode from here. So I was dying. I was telling E, I wanted to get a podcast with y'all down in Miami, but I was like, I don't know if we could swing it. I mean, because of the microphones and his cameras, I'm like, I don't know if we can get it done. But we were thinking about a way to do it. I'm like, let's just get him to Jersey, because I was dying to get this podcast done.
Wow.
Because the energy y'all have together is so powerful, and it speaks to, what happens when you get a running mate in your city.
Yeah. Relationship. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, for anybody, if you're opened up an office and you have a running mate that wants the thing as bad as you do in your city, it's going to take off. Now, that's not to say I have a business partner over here in Illinois. I have another business partner over here in Minnesota. I have a business partner over here in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And what I'm trying to help them do is get a running mate.
Absolutely.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? Because as soon as they can get somebody that thinks about the business as seriously as they do, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
So you get that in your hometown. It's magical.
Bless her.
Parting shots. We're talking to agents. We're talking to new agents. We're talking to agents that are, getting up started and trying to make it happen. We're talking to new agency owners doing 100 families a month, 150 families a month.
Okay.
What are some things that you would, parting shots for some of those people?
For me, relationships and leadership. What we bring is leadership. And when I say leadership, I mean, again, 24 hours, 7 days a week, structure and hands-on. We're going to help a new leader or a new agent or whatever who's coming in serious. We're going to bring them a infrastructure that they can't go wrong on as long as they work. That's the only thing. As you say, if it may not be for everybody because everybody doesn't want to work. But if they do, they can't go wrong. And then the other part is relationships. We're here, Marc said it already, we're here because we care. It's not about money. The money, it'll be there, but it's about the relationships. I want to know your kids. I want to know your spouse's name. I want to know where you live. I want to know all the things that make you excited about getting up and going to work, your why. And that's not fake. That's authentic, and people feel that when we sit down with them. I felt that the first time I met this guy, like, he cares. Oh my God, I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one. He cares. So that would be mine.
I would like to say the same thing about you because I said, how long can he keep this up? Man, this guy, his energy, his mindset.
That's what it is.
This
man.
is innate.
It's innate.
This is very rare. Bernard, somebody like Bernard is very rare to meet. Very authentic, cares about everyone. I mean, lighthearted.
How can he keep this?
Cares.
Man. Yeah, I was like, how long can he keep this going?
You thought it was an act.
Yeah, positive attitude, negative, never negative. I'm like, man.
This is exciting, and it's exciting to have a running mate. I just want to say it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's really a blessing.
No doubt.
You can't just conjure this up. You can't just say, okay, I got to find a running mate. It ain't that easy, Marc. It's
That's
so
true.
hard to find somebody who really authentically thinks like you, works like you, acts like you, has similar. I mean, hell, we just ordered the same lunch just now. I mean, because we just are kindred spirits, and I've been looking for this for 20 years. I've been in the business 20 years. I've been looking for this.
And I want to tell people that if you stick around long enough, you'll find the right person to work with.
Yeah, it took me 20 years.
If you stick around long enough, you always said you never met a successful agent that, how's the term? If they stay on it long enough,
They always are successful.
they'll be
The
successful.
ones who
be
quit
successful.
are not successful.
Right,
But
right.
if you stay around long enough, you're going to be successful.
You're going to be successful.
Yeah.
If you stick around long enough, you're going to find a good running mate. You're going to find a good person to run with. I think, like you said, man, God sent. I'm blessed to have you, man.
Yeah, God bless.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
So
and we're intentional. That's the other thing. Everything that we do, when we bring, you talk about new agents and new managers and what have you, we're going to make them learn how to be intentional. And I think that's huge.
Without a doubt. I see a lot of big things coming out of South Florida and all the
I'm
other
coming to
states you
Jersey
guys
too now,
have
Mr.
impacted.
Marc.
I get you, brother.
Coming back.
And we're here to support. We're here to support that, by the way.
That's right.
We ain't in competition. We
Oh,
support that.
oh, that's right.
So we appreciate y'all, what you do, how
Thank
you're
you for
growing.
having us.
I see explosive growth for the remainder of the year. Thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Appreciate you,
Thank
Mark.
you for having us, sir.
Love y'all,
Thank you.
man. Keep listening, keep tuning in. We want to keep bringing value. Thank you so much for all you do. God bless.